Hey everyone out there in HeroClix Land, it is I, Vee Mus'e, and once again, I do the thing I love to do every year. Scott, I took your line. Sorry, not sorry at all.
You did it again.
Uh-huh.
Hello, Scott. It's everybody. Sorry, no, that was backwards. No,
I was gonna
I'm just
say,
playing. Now, see, I don't know what to say when my
I know.
initial intro is done. It's a matter of habit. How are you
Yeah,
doing?
I'm doing well. I can't believe we are looking at how many years of doing this together now?
This is our fifth year
It's
now.
our fifth year.
hmm
Holy cow. 5 years of HeroClix for Huntingtons in the books about to happen for 2025. That is absolutely incredible. Super glad that you and I can get together and chat again like we do every year for our annual stream. So for those of you who are joining us, we are pre-recorded this year because Scott and I have schedules, y'all.
Oof, do
Yeah.
we ever?
This
Yeah.
this was a threading the needle situation. So rather than not be able to do the stream itself, we figured, hey, let's jump in, let's pre-record it. So thank you ahead of time to those of you who submitted your questions through our social media posts over the past week. We will be getting to those at the end of this stream. So make sure you stick around for that. But before we get into all the nitty gritty and all the cool announcements and all the cool reveals, like we do every single year, I think for those who might be new to HeroClix for Huntingtons, it'd be great if we can kind of do a full recap as to what it is, what's going on, et cetera, et cetera. And Scott, since you are the man who is organizing all this, you are truly the best source to go through about what's going on and what everyone can expect this year. So I think first, let's start off with when is this happening? So everyone can get those
May
dates.
14th through the 18th. May 14th through the 18th this year for our fifth year of HeroClix for Huntingtons. We have grown from what was a 2-day online, fully virtual event way back in 2020 to what we are now in the year of 2025. So, for everybody out there who's been with us this whole time, thank you so much. We cannot continue to do this without this incredible community, and I wanted to start there. For those of you who are new, who haven't been a part of HeroClix for Huntingtons before, who have not had a chance to travel down to Huntsville and play with everybody in person, this event is built around raising money for a cause that's very near and dear to my heart. My wife and my mother in law, as well as many other families out there all over the world, have something called Huntington's disease that not many people know about. It is a Oh, it is a
Yeah,
tough one. It is
yeah.
a neurodegenerative genetic disease, best described as having ALS and Parkinson's and Alzheimer's all at once. It is a genetic mutation within everybody who has Huntington's disease DNA that duplicates a protein that all of us have in a very safe amount, but for them is very harmful to them, and it affects your motor skills, your ability to think, your ability to speak, and onset is different for everyone, but what I can tell you is their journey, each and every one of them, is incredibly difficult and so important to support. So, we do this event weekend to raise money for the Huntington's Disease Society of America. And their goal is two-pronged: to support families who are dealing with Huntington's currently, and to try and hopefully find a cure so that nobody has to deal with Huntington's going forward. What we do a lot with our event is donate as much money as we can to
Mm-hmm.
HDSA to help them do both of those things. The best way to support families with Huntington's disease is to create centers of excellence. That is, we go into a hospital, and I say we, meaning HDSA and everybody who is working with them, goes into hospitals across the country and helps educate the doctors there on how to properly diagnose this thing, gives them all of the assets that they need as far as therapies that help, whether it be occupational therapy, speech therapy, or just general therapy where people can go and they can speak to other families who are battling this disease so they no longer feel like they may be alone. Back when we started this, or when I started helping HDSA, back in, geez, before HeroClix for Huntington's in
Yeah.
like 2017, if you had Huntington's disease and you lived in Wisconsin, the two nearest options for you to go to find a Huntington's disease center of excellence was Houston or, Pittsburgh. And now they have one in their own state. And we want to make sure that people don't even have to drive hours anymore, that they can have a place in their town where they feel safe and they feel like they can go and they can find the help that they really truly need. That coupled with the fact that we're also, earmarking some of this money to try and help find a cure. makes this event really, really impactful for so many people out there. The reason that it works so well with HeroClix is I really do believe that this community is one of the greatest out there as far as being tight knit, being family and
Mm-hmm.
community like driven. We have all known each other for the better part of 2 decades now, and we want to welcome new players to come in, and we'll get into that later. We have a lot of things at our event this year for newer players as well that we're so excited to finally talk about. But we also have some very special things built in for actual families that come to the event. A lot of us have grown up together. A lot of us have known each other for a very long time. HeroClix is one of the greatest communities around, and we call Huntington's disease um, the family disease because every child of a parent with Huntington's has a 50-50 shot of inheriting it. It can travel through families like crazy. And that's why the tagline for this event is family is everything. It's also twofold. Family is everything, meaning within the world of Huntington's disease, but family is everything also within the world of HeroClix. So, um, before we jump into our event schedule or any of those things throughout the course of the week, we do have a big change this year, V. I
Yes, we
don't know if
do.
you are aware of what happened last year. Lucky Dice Cafe, where we have held this event the past couple of years, has shut down for good. It was a bittersweet goodbye that we had to say last year.
Mm.
However, on our way out last year, just to make sure we talk about it, the air conditioning decided it didn't want to work at last year's event, and I gotta say the the courage and the patience and just the fortitude of this particular community to stick it out, play in tournaments where you're already mentally drained constantly
Mm-hmm.
while being physically drained as you're sweating on the map. It was incredible to watch. This year, we are in a brand new venue. It's called Divergence. It is a virtual reality arcade as well as gaming space in Huntsville, Alabama. And yes, it does have air conditioning. So I want to talk about that before we talk about anything else. New
Fantastic.
gaming space. We have air conditioning, and what's really cool is we're going to have food trucks come in. Anybody who ever attended the event at Lucky Dice Cafe knows that they had a full menu of incredible sandwiches and all
Mm-hmm.
types of things. Some of which were the Jean Grey and the Phoenix were like people's favorite sandwiches. It's like buffalo chicken, melty, cheesy panini
Ooh.
thing. We are going on one of the days to have a food truck come in and offer that item. So we're going to have the feeling of some of the great stuff from Lucky Desk Cafe with us as this community is taking on a new venue, and we are very, very excited about all of that.
That's definitely exciting news. And I think it speaks to both you and what you've been doing with HeroClix for Huntington's, as well as the HeroClix community, that this has been growing, this has been changing. We've been pivoting and adjusting as each year goes. So I'm definitely excited to see what happens for 2025, especially with this new venue and with some of the new incentives that are included into this new program that you have going on.
Yeah, one of the newest things that we are doing, and it sticks right in the realm of family, is we are offering something called a very important family pack. The pricing on this is pretty fantastic. The very important family pack is $55, and what you get is unlimited VR wristbands for you and your immediate family, as well as a grab bag of some of the limited edition figures that we are offering as prize support throughout the entire weekend. Um, the venue normally charges $25 an hour for VR gameplay. You're paying a one-time fee of $55, and for the 5 days of our event at this venue, you are able to play unlimited VR. Now, the thing is anybody out there who plays clicks, yes, we want to be sitting at battle royals. We want to be playing in tournaments as long as we can. The reality of it is sometimes you're in a tournament, something doesn't go your way, you're on tilt, you're walking away from the table,
Mm-hmm.
and the last thing you want to do is go roll dice somewhere else. This gives those people a chance to take a little bit of a break. The players that are very hardcore in the world of HeroClix,
Right.
clear their mind, play something else, reset a little bit, and then come back and sit down at a table. Or if you're waiting, say, for a battle royale, you are, one of two players waiting for two other players to free up to play. Well, instead of just sitting there at the table, just waiting for your turn to come up, you can go play again for a couple minutes and then come back. On top of that, if you're bringing people down that are part of your family that maybe are familiar with the game of clicks but don't necessarily play,
Mhm.
there's only so much clicks you can watch as
Right.
as an audience member, unless you really know the ins and the outs, unless you're dying on every single dice roll, living and dying, going,
Hmm.
oh man, I understand what's happening here. Oh, he needs a 5 or 6 here. Oh, he
Right.
needs to make sure he rolls a 7 right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, they will watch for a little bit. And listen, I've done this before. I've taken my kids to big tournaments that I've played in before, and they love to come and watch just for a little bit. They mostly just like to see the figures, and they've
Hmm.
quote unquote played HeroClix before, which we roll some dice, but really it's just like an action figure battle for them.
Yeah.
At a certain point, the VR stuff for them would be an awesome way for them to
Hmm.
spend some time leisurely, jump into games now and then. But on top of being able to play with this package, again, $55 for the entire week long, you get the Mansion Rock map, which is one of our maps from 2024 states and provincial championship prize and design. They'll also get the 2025 player design bystander token, which was one of our exclusive prizes that you could only get at our event. They get a John Cena, and then they get a choice of 2 figures that are premiering at our event this year: Daredevil and Elektra, or a Joker Fish. Or a Zombie Scarlet Witch convention exclusive while supplies last. And then they get a grab bag of Kanto or Mantis or Compound Hulk or Zombie Unicorn or Zombie Shark while the supplies last. So
Hmm.
we only have so many of these packages we could sell, but we think it's a really cool thing. Now, in that prize package that I was talking about, that very important family package, I mentioned some things that I'm very excited about this year for HeroClix for Huntingtons.
Do you want to do a
Um,
show and tell?
yeah, I think we
Okay.
should just jump right in. Now,
Let's
one
do
of the
it.
coolest things about our event is, yes, we have unique pricing that we'll talk about a little bit later in the stream. Pick a legacy card, create a bystander, create a map, become a switch clicks. These are all things that people have known about for the past
Right.
4 years at our event. What I love about what has happened with HeroClix for Huntingtons is we have kind of become the cadence of big events for WizKids itself now. And this year, for the first time ever, we are an event weekend that is premiering pieces into the game of HeroClix outside of just our unique pieces that you can win at the event. This year, we have 2 pieces premiering that will be a wider release over the next couple of months in Daredevil and Elektra and
Yeah.
in the Jokerfish.
Which
So
one do you want to start with?
I think that we should start with the Jokerfish because every
Okay.
time I mention the Jokerfish, it's a piece of equipment. But every time that I mention it, everybody seems to go, "Wait a second, what are you
What?
talking? I've never even heard about this." And I'm talking about people who I know within, WizKids themselves are like, "Man, we haven't even barely seen this thing." So we'll jump in here on the Jokerfish. You can see it on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is a
It's a
it
fish.
is a fish. It is a fish with a Joker smile. It is a new piece of equipment that is coming into the game of HeroClix, and I'm very, very excited for people to have the first chance to win it here. Um, I am trying to read it here on my screen, but I'll zoom in as best I can. People feel free to, like, as they always do with my unboxings
Of
and
course,
everything.
yeah.
They just pause and they go ahead and screenshot. I love what it's doing with water terrain here. Um, for some reason, it's not in my file folder. Sorry.
Oh,
There we
jeez.
go. I've got it now.
You
I
got it? You
found
good?
it.
You found
Yeah.
it? There it is.
Oh, you would think we're doing a pre-record here. It wouldn't feel as much as a live stream, but
It
you know
still kind
what?
of
No,
has that touch of it.
it
Yeah.
definitely feels like a live stream.
Just a little bit.
The Joker fish is a light object, indestructible. People who get the free equips and everything are names and keywords for Harley Quinn, the Joker, and Joker goons. The effect is it has poison, and opposing characters within 4 squares that have the dolphin symbol have the boot symbol instead. So they go from your water train movement into your just
Yeah.
basic movement there. The Jokerfish sculpt to me is just hilarious.
I
The Jokerfish having this big grinning smile is just so fun to me. It clocks in at 5 points, and it's just really cool to have pieces that are now premiering as a part of HeroClix for Huntingtons. You
Yeah.
know, when you think about the annual schedule for WizKids now, you've got Adepticon, you have us, um, you know, you have in June, you guys are going to be a big part of a huge convention in June,
Yeah.
yeah?
Yep. We're going to be at Origins 50th anniversary. It's going to be a wonderful, big, fantastic celebration. So make sure to check us out over there, everyone.
And then at the end of the summer, you've got Worlds and you've got pieces that are debuting there as
Yeah.
well. So for HeroClix for Huntingtons to be in league with those events at this point is just that's beyond, I think, Howard and I's wildest dreams for what we had planned for this event when we very first started it.
Yeah.
So I'm just so excited that we're a part of that cadence now, and we are debuting figures like, you know, like this Jokerfish
Like this one.
or like Daredevil and Elektra, whose
Ooh, this one I'm
sculpt
really.
I want to just take a
Oh,
moment
yeah.
and give a shout out to whoever designed this sculpt. It is incredible. What I love about it is the push and pull of Daredevil and Elektra.
Hmm.
Sometimes they're on the same side, sometimes they're trying to kill each other. And I got to tell you, like, this sculpt is giving me both kinds of vibes. Is Elektra leaping at Daredevil? Is he leaping out of the way? Are they both leaping in unison, like in this corkscrew of death towards
Hmm.
hand ninjas? You're just not sure exactly like which way they're pushing and pulling. And what I love about it is the trait speaks to the sculpt as well. When I look at this piece, it comes in at 70 points. This is a piece that is going to be debuting with us, of course. But I just want to take a look at the card real quick and just talk about all of this because this piece is beautiful,
I
but it's
really.
also thematically so very cool. It comes in at 70 points. You've got Defenders, Heroes for Hire, Marvel Knights, The Hand, Assassin, Martial Artist keywords. So it's covering both of these characters with the keywords there. And that initial trait, romance and rivalry. Leap climb, free, turn Daredevil and Elektra's dial one click in any direction. Daredevil and Elektra can't be turned onto a KO click this way. And what I love about it, if you look at the power set that's on the dial, you kind of have this push and pull. Is this Daredevil set? Is this Elektra's power set? Is this two of them together? And you're just kind of sliding through the dial, and it's that push and pull. It is that romance and rivalry that the sculpt is exhibiting as well, and I absolutely love it. Um,
Hmm.
Hit 'em low is a special movement trait. And again, I'm not going to read everything that we have on every figure today because I believe we are debuting, geez, 7 upcoming promo figures and
Yeah.
exclusives. I think
Yeah,
we're
we got a
also
lot.
debuting 2 unreleased iconic sets. So make sure you guys stay tuned. We're also debuting our unique pricing.
Yep.
But I love the hit 'em low. I love the special attack power. Y'all, you only live once, you know. Obviously referring to Elektra and like that, you know, heartbreaking initial story and
Yeah.
her, well, I guess I should say her first death because everybody always comes back to life in comic books.
Hmm.
But I just love the way that this figure is designed.
Yeah.
You've got 3 targets, you've got 4 range. I mean, there is so much that this piece can do. I'm a huge fan of it. And, you know, we'll talk about our pricing and the event schedule throughout the rest of this chat that you and I are having, but Daredevil and Elektra is present in almost every single event. It is present with the very important family package all the way through our auction on Saturday night. It is a part of our prize support. So there are a lot of these to go out. You know, of course, nothing and nothing at the event is guaranteed. If you come and
Yeah.
just buy the very important family package, you are walking away with this. I mean, that's, you know, why we have supplies last. You know, this is a part of our battle royal pricing. This is a part of our tournament pricing for almost every tournament. They have a bunch of these in the auction as well. So everybody that comes down is going to have a shot at walking away with, you know, one of these, one of the Jokerfish, one of the bystander tokens that we'll talk about later. So our pricing is plentiful. It's pretty special. Some of the best pricing, I think, of the year. And this is helping to headline it. So I'm very, very excited.
Absolutely. All right. Very cool. So let's keep chatting about this fantastic event. So we've just mentioned the cool new family program that you have going on, which I think is a fantastic deal. And I love the fact that it incorporates not just the gameplay of HeroClix, but also the VR factor, which is going to be so cool, especially for various family members to take advantage of. If people want to get into more details about this, where's a good site for them to start checking out where they need to go to start looking into purchasing their tickets, finding out more information? What is it? Let us know.
Yeah, HeroClixForHuntingtons.com. That simple. You go to HeroClixForHuntingtons.com. You can check out our mission statement, which I talked about briefly at the beginning of this stream on the homepage. And then you can see our event schedule: Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Yes, we have an extra day this year. We have an extra set of events happening this year. It is 5 days long. The event encompasses, I mean, dang near a week now.
Right?
But what's cool about that is there is flexibility for people who maybe their kids are playing, in a
Hmm.
baseball tournament on the weekend can
Yeah.
come and join us maybe on the Thursday, Friday. If you can't get down until Thursday, you're not missing a ton. If you can't get down until Friday, you still got a chance to play in two very cool tournaments and take part in our auction. If you can't make it at all, we still do have our auction. This year, we are no longer doing online battle royals. I know we've gotten a bunch of questions about that. We were basically breaking even on that the last 2 years. We do it because we love our international and even national uh, part of the community that cannot make it to the event. But this year, as we were going forward, we were going to start to not even break even, I think, as far as the participation versus the prizing that we hand out, the support that we give to our judges. We try to support our judges in the best way possible. They are donating so much of their time to make this event happen. The staff that we have for HeroClix for Huntington is second to none, and the work that they do is really tireless in nature. And we want to make sure that it's not also thankless. We want to make sure that we give them, all the prizing that they're missing out on winning because they can't take part in any of these tournaments, and they are helping facilitate everybody else's ability to do so. So at that point, it became kind of a break even or less prospect for us. And we are trying to get as much money into the pockets of HDSA as we possibly can. And in order to do that, we've got to make sometimes tough decisions. So no online battle royals this year, but the event being so long, having this incredible auction at the end, we have more items than we've ever had. So there are ways for people who can't attend to still participate in all of that. But HeroClixForHuntingtons.com has all the information on our entire schedule, as well as everything that's going into the auction. It has all of our pricing. It has fellowship, which is a huge part of the weekend. It has all the information on the new venue, hotels, all those things nearby if you want to book a room, and
Hmm.
of course the very important family package. So all of those things are at HeroClixForHuntingtons.com.
And we'll make sure we have that in the description below. So just in case you just want the easy click and go, just, open up that description and go, and easy as pie. So just keep that in mind too. Now, you mentioned that the family deal is $55. What about standard tickets, just for those who might be curious about that particular pricing?
Okay, yeah. I mean, let's break into every day, kind of look at the events that we have going on in each of those days, and then we'll let you guys know how much everything is, and then how much of that is going to HDSA for the HeroClix for Huntington's initiative. Wednesday night is our welcome event, otherwise known as the Tracy Brock Memorial 3v3 welcome event. This thing is hilariously fun. We take a bunch of
Mm-hmm.
old product. We don't know what sets they are until the night of. You are playing with very old pieces that you have most likely forgotten about. And if you came to the game later than others, some of these pieces you will never even know existed. Last
Right?
year, we used a little something called HeroClix Tab app figures. They are these giant bobblehead looking HeroClix pieces that were meant to be used with an actual app quite some time ago. And a lot
Uh-huh.
of HeroClix players had never seen them before. Next thing you know, they're in a 3v3 welcome event at the HeroClix for Huntington's tournament with a Iron Man with a head that's larger than his body. People were freaking out. They were having so much fun. Our good friend Scott Crampton supplies trophies for this event and came up kind of with the theme of this event. Howard Brock, of course, puts up all the prizing, puts up all the product to run this event. This is really a rock event, and it's in honor of a fantastic woman, Tracy Brock. If some of you out there didn't know her, the biggest heart around, the person who stood next to Howard as he did so many cool things in the HeroClix community, and actually was like really the brains and the heart of that entire operation. I love Tracy with all my heart, and I know so many people out there did as well. So this is in her honor. This is in her memory, and we come and we laugh and we smile and we roll dice and we have the greatest time, just remembering her and welcoming everybody down to our event weekend. The pricing is fantastic. $1 per ticket goes to HDSA. Like I said, we have a partnership. Rock and HeroClix for Huntington's come together to host this weekend. Some events are 100% HeroClix for Huntington's, and some events are 100% Rock. But even the Rock events, Howard gives us a bit of each to support our initiative in HDSA. So that is the Tracy Brock Memorial. Happens on Wednesday, May the 14th. The prizing support here is hilarious. Daredevil and Elektra is actually included as well, but we have some fun prizing. We have some very cool prizing, and like I said, we have an incredible trophy. It's Tracy Brock holding her favorite pet, painted gold, dressed as the goddess of Themyscira herself. Like, she looks like an Amazon warrior on this thing, and there's no better way for her to be remembered. In this event, you also can earn Rock points, which will help you out to enter the Rock World Championships that happen this Sunday. We'll get to that in just a moment. But great prize support, great time to be had. I highly recommend people come and play in it. And the cool thing about our event, we talk about community a lot. If you come down and you don't necessarily have teammates, we always have other people in the community looking for people to team up with. And we always are putting teams together very last minute to get them into this tournament. The cool thing about this tournament, it is sealed, so you don't have to come with a cohesive effort in like an extreme Highlander, 3v3 constructed modern event. No, you can actually show up here and say, hey, I just want to roll some dice and play some sealed fun stuff with friends, and we will find you partners. If we roll into Thursday, we have a brand new event that we have never done at HeroClix for Huntington's. We have an extra day this year, so we are running a supercharged sealed. We've never run this kind of event at HeroClix for Huntington's because WizKids didn't actually start utilizing this event until after our HeroClix for Huntington's last year in 2024. This one, you have 3 boosters. It's a 400-point team. You use 2 boosters from one primary set and a 3rd booster from a secondary set. And, I think this year we're going to be using Smash and Destroy and Spider-Verse. That being said, it does say on the website, that the sets will be announced closer to the event. Keep your eyes on that page. That is our plan currently. But as we get closer, we will see, guys, I don't know if you know, the world is kind of topsy-turvy right now as far as shipping. We have had distributors file bankruptcy. We have certain laws going into effect that are affecting our relationships with countries that we ship a lot of the product in from. So this entire event, of course, has a disclaimer. We will be as transparent and as up to date as possible with everybody out there in the community. We owe you that, and we are on top of it. So we will tell you our best hopes and wishes here, with obviously the caveat that product has to be available for all of these things. But as of right now, that's the plan, and we're really hoping that we can move forward with that. You can see all of the prizing online there as well. The winner of this Smash and Destroy supercharged booster event, super sealed booster thing that we're doing on Thursday is a Smash and Destroy retail chase booster. The top 4 are receiving Spider-Verse retail chase boosters. So the prizing this entire weekend is insane, and you can see all of the prizing online, of course. But I just wanted to tell you some of the highlights as we're going through these events. Daredevil and Elektra are part of this prizing. Jokerfish is a part of this prizing. The maps that we create for this event are a part of this prizing. So again, HeroClix for Huntington's has all the information. You can go there and you can check out the full pricing. As we move into Friday, now, this is where things get really fun. Oh, Thursday, I did want to say was supercharged. The really cool thing is Howard is providing the product for us to play this supercharged sealed. WizKids is so generously donating all of the prize support for it. So that is 50-50 split. The entrance fee for the Smash and Destroy Super Sealed, 50% of that will go directly to HDSA. So it's $60 entry fee, $30 directly to HDSA for every single person that sits and plays that night. That is a huge boon for the charity event and for our charity initiative here. We move into Friday, and we have one of the very first events we ever ran when we were completely virtual for HeroClix for Huntington's, and that is the Scott Porter Invitational HeroClix for Huntington's Championships. This is a teams 3 versus 3 400-point modern age extreme Highlander event. Now, I want to jump into something here that is another big facet of how we approach HeroClix, maybe in a different way than some other events out there. Yes, we have insane prizing for the people that win this event. I'll get into that in just a moment. But we may have even more insane prizing for the teams that win fellowship and for the person that wins fellowship overall for an entire event weekend. Fellowship is a huge pillar of what we do. We lean into community, we lean into, yes, competitive nature a little bit, but more about how you feel when you come together as a community and you're sitting across a table playing with somebody who loves the things that you love, and the camaraderie that you feel when you're playing a game that both of you appreciate. And really, everybody is there to raise money for a great cause. So, fellowship almost holds even more prestige for us than just winning. So, I wanted to say that before I jump into this prizing. And I want to explain, this thing gets competitive, highly competitive, as you would expect. 400-point modern age extreme Highlander 3v3 teams event. The prizing matches the competitive nature of the event. However, if you come with just massive meta teams, you better shoot to win. And if you miss, don't expect to be getting any fellowship votes from anyone. But we also encourage here, in the first year that we ran this event, it had a theme to it. You had to have two pieces on your team that were actually family.
Family,
Again,
yeah.
family is everything, is
Yep.
the theme of our event. We have relaxed on the theme stuff a little bit over the years, but we still would love to see really interesting, really cohesive, really fun themes being played at tables. And every year, we do see some teams who come just to play this event and see if they can make an impact with teams that are way off meta, that are super fun. And when we do that, it just makes the entire tournament. I hear people talking about those teams way more than I hear people talking
Yeah.
about the top eight
Yeah.
teams or the top four teams, because those team builds can get repetitive. But the fun stuff, that's the stuff that people really sit there and talk about. So the prizing for this event is insane, just like all of our other events. The top 30 teams in this event, every single player gets a Jokerfish. That's 90 Jokerfish going out in this event alone. The top 16 prizing is insane. Everybody that top ranks in the top 16 teams, which is 48 players, get a Daredevil and Elektra. And then, of course, we have a bunch of other con exclusives. They also will get our HeroClix for Huntington's Bystander token, designed by last year's winner from the Phoenix Nest. The top 8 will receive the HeroClix for Huntington's maps that I designed this year, which we'll get into in a little bit. The top 4 teams are going to be getting retail chase boosters, Smash and Destroy retail chase boosters. Second place will be getting Spider-Verse factory sets. All 3 members of the team that gets second place will be getting their own factory set. Now, we have not done that in years past. Teams have gotten a factory set to split amongst themselves. Now they get entire factory sets for themselves, each individual player. Second place will also win some of our unique prizing. Design a bystander, pick a legacy card, or design a map. First place here, every single member of the team gets a Smash and Destroy factory set, which is insane.
Yeah.
They will get their pick of design a bystander, or pick a legacy card, or design a map. So all of these things are incredibly high value because those are unique prizing only to us, as well as being basically the first place out there in the world that you're going to be able to get Smash and Destroy factory sets. So the prizing for the people that win this event is incredible. That being said, the fellowship team for this event also will be getting rewarded insanely. 2 members will get a Smash and Destroy factory set. 1 member will get a Spider-Verse factory set. They will also get to choose if they would like to pick a legacy card, design a bystander, or design a map. So if you get fellowship in this event, you are getting one of our unique prizing. And then if you look at the prize list, which is actually under fellowship at HeroClixForHuntingtons.com, you'll see just how insane the fellowship is for this event. I think
Yeah.
now might actually be a really good time to maybe lean into some of the unique prizing that we
Sure.
have.
Okay.
I mentioned last year's um, winner of Design a Bystander token was Phoenix Nest. And Phoenix Nest's Bystander is very, very cool. And I think maybe
We
we should go ahead
do.
and take a
Yeah.
look at what they decided to do. And again, this is, just a part of our event, one of the unique prizes that you can win. I introduce you to our bystander for the 2025
Ta-da!
HeroClix for Huntington's event that is going to be everywhere. This piece goes all over the place. The Phoenix will be one of the main prizing for our battle royals, which happen all week long, as well as prizing that you will see on the website for each and every event that you attend. The Phoenix comes in at 10 points. It's got 8 movement, little sidestep. It's got 10 attack with some telekinesis. It's got
Mm-hmm.
barrier and a 17 defense. It's got leadership and 2 damage at 10 points. Those stats alone already do something special. That being said, the trait that you see on the front of the bystander token on the back, you could see Flames of Friendship is the name of the trait. Mastermind. Friendly characters have the Phoenix Nest keyword while the Phoenix is on the map. This doesn't affect themed teams. So, Phoenix Nest is the only keyword it does have. However, it grants that to everybody on its
Yeah.
team. Mastermind becomes a crazy situation. It's got telekinesis, it's got leadership, which also
Mm-hmm.
key off of your keyword. So the bystander token, I think, is pretty great. And I love the illustration here of
Oh
this
gosh,
Phoenix
yeah.
with the googly eye.
At that, okay. When I saw that, I started cracking up. I'm gonna make this bigger so everyone can get a really nice look at this. I mean, take a look at the googly moogly eye. That is
Yes,
just utterly
the
hysterical.
googly eye is so fun.
Yeah.
That design of bystander was won last year by Team Phoenix Nest. Alyssa McNeil and Anthony and Jose Barragon, the brutal brothers over there, and this is what they chose to do with it. And for the teams that are coming to play this year in the Scott Porter Invitational Sealed, this is kind of what you're playing for: a chance to be completely tournament legal, a part of HeroClix, the fabric of HeroClix, and to have something that you designed be on the map, which is one of the few times that you can really do that in the game of
Yeah,
HeroClix, in this game that we love. So I think it is a very, very cool prize. I think what they did with it is really, really cool.
definitely.
Um, when we're talking about the other prizes for this tournament, map design, I will let the winning team of the create a map last year debut their map ahead of our event on their own. Stay tuned for any announcements that they may have about that. The Pick a Legacy card, however, was won by the Team Gulf Coast Avengers, who are our fellowship winners last year. They wanted to do a Pick a Legacy card. What I can tell you is they really want to do Gambit. The next set for Gambit to really make sense in is an upcoming set that happens to be an animated property that we are having partnerships with. So there was a little bit of a roadblock getting Gambit for that particular set. This is above my pay grade, but they have decided they would like to wait and hopefully get Gambit to be a Pick a Legacy card in a future set outside of X-Men 97, which is coming later this year. So they are still kind of waiting. They're playing the patient long game. So
Mm-hmm.
we may not see our 2024 Pick a Legacy card winners' vision of what Gambit they would like to see happening anytime soon. But also stay tuned to the Gulf Coast Avengers. If you follow them anywhere on social medias or if you know that play group, they are so awesome. They came last year with some really fun team builds and they won Fellowship. So, like I said, unique prizing is not only reserved for the people that win the tournament. So if you shoot to win, you better hit your mark. But if you come to play something fun, it does go a long way in the fellowship aspect of our tournament weekend as well.
Definitely. Yeah.
All right, let's move on to what is maybe my favorite event of the entire weekend. That is on Saturday. Saturday is the Scott Porter versus the World sealed event. It's 300 points. It's your traditional sealed. This year, again, hoping to play with Smash and Destroy. I think there were some announcements that have been rolling out on that. I think my unboxing just wrapped up, and I think at the
Oh, it's
unboxing
just
you were
happening
hearing
now.
me.
It just started up. Yeah, it's this whole week we're getting you set and ready to go. So when this airs,
Yeah,
you get to see everything.
yeah. So the unboxing that I was doing for Smash and Destroy, I was saying this is a mid-May pre-release with a late May release. Surprise actually came early. I
Yeah.
believe. So we are definitely, aiming to have Smash and Destroy be the set that we're playing with for this sealed event. The
Yeah.
cool thing about what we do with the sealed event, people could mulligan. You can buy your 2 boosters. If you don't love what you get, you can buy 2 more boosters. You can keep rebuying until we're out of product, basically. This is our second largest money earner for HeroClix for Huntingtons on our entire weekend. Last year, we almost made $60,000 at our event. At our total, HeroClix for Huntingtons weekend.
Hmm.
This event raised over $10,000 all on its own. People were buying in. They were mulliganing. They want to win. They love
Yeah.
to have the best team that they can possibly have. On top of that, you can also have theme props. Every single match, you can buy up to 5 themed probability controls, which are $1 a piece. Everybody keeps track of the money that they spend on their probability controls. And usually what happens when people do it is they blow their 5 probability controls within the
Uh-huh.
first 5 minutes of a match, and then you play the rest of the game.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes an incredible amount of fortitude and patience to hold
Uh-huh.
on to your charity probs, but it is still a very cool thing to do. They are able to be utilized at almost any point in the game. The full rules on how the charity probs work is up on the website as well. But the cool part about this event is I get to play in it. This is the one event that I am 100%. I am in. I am playing in this tournament. I have placed in the top 4 in this tournament before. I have made the cut every year but one. Last year, pour one out for me. Last year was tough. Last year was really tough. But this tournament feels like old school HeroClix tournaments.
Yeah.
This feels like way back in the day when I was playing in a food court in the Fashion Square Mall down in Orlando, Florida. We'd have over 200 players. Last year, we had over 100 players in this event. We had 110 players play in the Scott Porter versus the World Seal tournament. A lot of players nowadays, maybe they've never experienced something, with that player volume, and it is so fun. And we aim to make it even more fun than just being there amongst a big crowd like that. We salt the room sometimes with, prizing, with extra prizing. We come in, you'll hear somebody go, next critical miss wins, a promo figure or a convention
Nice.
LE. And, a hand will go up in the corner of the room. That's me. We'll go over, like somebody wins a little something extra just for playing and
Hmm.
having, certain little things happen to them. On top of that, when I'm playing, I have bounties on my back. I have prizing that I carry with me. And this prizing is usually top-notch stuff. And as you play me, if you lose, um, you know, in the past years, I've had a couple of trays that said I played at the HeroClix for Huntington's event and lost to Scott Porter, and all I got was this stupid dice tray. In years past, we've been able to do stuff that's really, really fun like that, as well as having convention LEs, iconic sets. I will probably be carrying around some iconic sets on my back this year. If you lose to me, you don't get it, and the prize pot builds. The bounty list on my back builds. But if you finally take me down, you win everything that is on my back. I've
Dang.
had people win over 20 items in one fell swoop by defeating me by sitting across from me at the Scott Porter vs. the World tournament. Once again, the prizing in this thing is insane. The top 64 in this event will get the Joker Fish. The top 16 will be getting the Bystander token. The top 8 will be getting the map that I designed that we're going to look at later in the
Hmm.
stream. But what I really wanted to get into here, and we're going to have to show everybody in just a moment something special that the winner is winning. But the top 4 are going to be getting retail chase boosters. Now, all the players out there know how hard it is to get a hold of these things, how valuable they are, and what is so cool about them is on top of getting the chase figure, of course, there's these bystander tokens that are inside the chase boosters that I personally am still chasing as well
Hmm.
as everyone else. Um, to get these retail chase boosters as part of prizing for a sealed tournament is insane. Second place will get a Smash and Destroy case. So 2 bricks of Smash and Destroy. So if you're coming to play at our event, you don't have anything, you play second, you're going to get a whole case of this set. But the winner um, is going to actually get for the first time at our event, a sealed factory set. And you might be thinking, oh, awesome, Smash and Destroy, sealed factory set. No, no, actually, the winner of this event is going to get the next HeroClix set that is coming out, a factory set of the DC property Lantern Legacy. So,
Yeah.
Lantern Legacy Factory Set going to the winner of the Scott Porter versus the World Tournament, which WizKids is aiming to send out during the pre-release window of Lantern Legacy's release, with the latest, with it being sent to you at latest during the actual release window. That being said, with all of these sets, to get a factory set this early in a life of a new set release is dang near impossible. I mean, these are usually reserved for the biggest tournaments around, you know, the conventions, the big WizKids sponsored events, and everything. So to know coming out of this tournament at our charity weekend that you have Lantern Legacy Factory set all locked up before the set even hits the wild is pretty darn cool. So first time ever we're putting legacy, putting factory sets into our prize support for a sealed tournament. This thing is the most fun event for me on the weekend, and I know a lot of people feel the same. Sealed is the way I want to play this game currently.
Mm-hmm.
I've got 2 kids. I am a full-time chauffeur at this point. I don't have time
Mood.
to team build the way I used to. I used to be a menace. I used to be a menace in Constructed. I used to be on like the team building
Right.
forums on HC Realms. I
Uh-huh.
was like,
Uh-huh.
one of the moderators of the team building help squad. Man, I used to be a man. I can't.
No, God.
I can still team build a little bit, but to have the time to play test it all, I just don't have that time anymore.
Yeah.
But knowing how to utilize these figures on the fly, the basic fundamental concepts of, you know, the push and pull of the game of HeroClix, I still have in spades. So this tournament is something that I absolutely, absolutely love. Um, and that will take us into Saturday night, the auction. But before I go there, I'm just going to say Sunday is not our event. Sunday is the Rock World Championships. Howard, who runs Rock, runs an incredible event. It is a world championship, has prizing out of its mind as well. There is some cash prizing, which is 100% provided by Howard and by Rock. That is not a part, or does it come from HeroClix for Huntington's at all. It is its own tournament. It supports itself. Rock, and Howard run an amazing event on Sunday, but that's really separate from our HeroClix for Huntington's weekend. It's part of our partnership. So we kind of bookend the
Mm-hmm.
weekend with these two events, the Tracy Brock Memorial Welcome event on Wednesday and the Rock World Championships on Sunday that are more rock specific events. He still does offer $1 per entry fee over to H4H, and every single bit counts and every single bit helps in the effort for Huntington's disease. So I just wanted to, talk about that before we jump into the auction and welcome in a very special guest that we have.
Shall we? I can't wait. I always love this part when we have a special guest. So everyone, let's welcome Lucas. Hey,
Ah,
Lucas.
Hey guys.
hey,
Good to
what
see you,
is
and
up,
thanks for
man?
joining us.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me. It's super cool to be on.
Hey, so Lucas, we brought you on during the auction section of this particular. Sorry, the doorbell's going off in my background a lot. I don't know if you guys could hear that. We brought you on really quick during the auction section because last year you did something very cool in our auction. What did you do last year in the auction?
Oh, I went into a bidding war with a few individuals and decided I wanted to just show how self-righteous I am and get a sculpt of myself in the game. I couldn't stop myself. So
Oh man, no.
I love how that was
Here's the thing.
described.
I don't know if it's self-righteous.
That was
How long
amazing.
have you how
it's
long have you
it's
been playing the game of HeroClix, Lucas?
I started in 13 um at my LGS in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and I've been playing competitively since 16. So it's been a major part of my life for a long time now.
And one of the more unique prizes that we have at our event that can only be won in 2 ways in the auction, which you were able to do last year, or get the weekend long fellowship award, which Zane Johnson got last year. The prize that you won is to actually have yourself in the game of HeroClix. Um, how meaningful is that to you to be able to put yourself on any switch clicks in the game and be able to, play with a version of yourself in the game of HeroClix?
Yeah, it's incredible. So last year I was having a tremendous year, at least the first half for HeroClix. I won Adepticon. I was winning pretty much every game I played for the first 6 months, and went to the Rock Cup and H for H and did very well that weekend as well. And actually, ended up winning the Rock Cup after the auction, which was it was a really cool bookend to that kind of saga. So in order to commemorate the year and kind of feel like I had something to show for it, I decided that this was something that I wanted to pursue for the auction. And yeah, just kind of, like I said, just started bidding and went to see how far it would go. And once it got to a certain point, I was like, well, I've come this far, I can't stop now. So here we are.
Well, that's awesome, man. You have been a huge supporter of our event. You have taken part in all 5 years, well, all 4 years up to this point of the event, and you are coming again this year. Is that
Yes,
correct?
sir. I just bought my tickets this morning for all the events, so
Hey,
we're ready to rock and
that's
roll.
awesome.
Yep.
Can't wait to see you, man. Yeah, you've won an awful lot actually at our event. I think you've had a part in designing a bystander token.
Yep.
Have you designed a map yet from?
Well, so for H for H, not specifically, I did get to design a map for winning Rock Cup last year. I believe that'll be debuted here at the weekend as well, so that'll be fun.
Yeah,
Very cool.
so
Yeah.
stay tuned to Lucas's channels to see the map that he is actually designed for this year's. We are a partnership, so I do count that as winning,
Sure.
and designing a map for a part of our event-long weekend, Rock Cup and HeroClix for Huntington's.
Yeah,
But
I almost went on a full sweep last year. I got second in 2 of the events and won the other ones. So because we won the Tracy Brock event. I got second in the Thursday event. For your event for sealed. I got second again because I crit missed like 4 times with Moon Knight and couldn't heal past
Whoops.
heal past the man thing. And then I ended up winning the Rock Cup, and I think we got like top 8 in teams or something. But yeah, it was just a tremendous weekend for me overall. So
yeah, man. Well, the big prize of the weekend, I think, for you though, was this particular prize. The sculpt came in, and there was this interesting email that went out to Lucas from the H4H team. That's in WizKids, that's making sure this sculpt got made the way that Lucas wanted to. And it was like, here are the 3D renders of your sculpt. Please let us know if we can go ahead with finalizing and 3D printing. To which Lucas answered, "This is beeping awesome." Nothing else. To which I responded, "I'll take that as a yes."
Incredible.
So if I'm gauging off of the email exchange, you are very happy with the way that this turned out. Do you want to show it to the world?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's take a look.
Let's do it, because I've got to tell you, Lucas, I love it. I'm in love with it.
Oh my gosh. You want to break down what we're looking at here, Lucas?
So what we are looking at is, well, they nailed me as far as the physique. I mean, I'm even wearing the same jersey.
Aren't you wearing the shirt
right now?
Yes.
Yeah, they got my jersey in there, and it is perfect. The render they sent me shows the whole thing. And I mean, the artist, you were talking earlier about the sculptor, the artist doing well on Daredevil and Elektra. This is incredible. Like, I don't know how anybody could have done this so perfectly. The socks with the sandals for years. That's what I mean. The shorts, the sweatshirt, the socks, sandals. That's what I wear to every tournament. Like that's if you see me at an event, that's usually what I'm wearing. Except for last year at H4H, when if I would have wore a sweatshirt, I would have been dead by day 2.
Oh God.
But and then the hammer. I'm a big Thor fan. I'm a big Norse mythology fan. I'm probably not as big as some of the other members of our community, but I still really appreciate it. It was fun to have a weapon. And then of course the coup de grace of the entire thing, the thing that brings it all together. My cat Hemingway, who I'm holding there. He is by far my best friend. Spends the most time with me. Loves me unapologetically. And I'm honestly surprised I haven't seen him yet this morning. He's probably sleeping somewhere, but being able to have him in the sculpt was just super cool. I'm tickled pink with it, thrilled. You will, if you play against me at a tournament, probably for the end of time, you will see this figure on the map. Doesn't matter what team I'm playing. So
Ah, that is so awesome. And the fact that this can be put onto any switch click space, do you have any idea what dial you'd want to play
Ooh.
yourself
oh,
on? Or
it's gonna be more than any switch click space. I will be breaking figures intentionally to make sure that this figure is on there. Like if WizKids gets it to me before the Rock Cup and before H8, you will see it on my figures. You'll probably see it on my figures for sealed. I'll probably break a figure for sealed and put it on there if I
so
can.
what
Like,
what
yeah.
dial do you see Lucas Van Holland on in the future?
Oh man. I mean, like I said, I'm a big Norse fan. I'm a big Thor fan.
Hmm.
I like Thor a lot. Honestly, like I'll probably put one on a Volstagg because it'll probably be the most thematic thing I could put it on.
Yes.
Gotta love Volstagg. So I know the Hammer of Thor one is always a great one to put stuff on.
Could
So
be a little War Thor action even.
yeah, I mean, I'm waiting for a truly meta viable Thor, not something that's just fringe, because most Thors are like fringe, or they're just like, yeah, it's a
Hmm.
dude that charges in and hits something. I want a Thor that like that I personally would go, yep, I have to play this, otherwise I'm being negligent as a competitive player. So someday maybe.
But I think Volstagg was the War Thor, right? The Thor
No,
Olson didn't he wasn't
the
currently he
Volstagg, the one I'm thinking of is the one from Hammer Thor that has the mutton chop in his hand and he's
Mm.
like
Hmm.
Oh
standing over
yes.
Hmm.
somebody. Yeah, I
Hard
love
to
that
replace that
Volstagg.
one.
It's great. It's such a great
Ah,
sculpt.
That's
So
another one that was just
so
hysterical to
good.
see. Yeah.
That is so good. All right, man. Well, we are so excited that you came on with us, and I love that you have had so much fun in so many different events that we have at the weekend. The one place you usually won't find Lucas is at the Battle Royal tables. The Battle Royals run all 5 days, but he is usually in the top whatever of whatever event he's in, so not a lot of time to spot him at the Battle Royal
I usually get
tables.
about one a weekend, one
Yeah.
There you
day,
go.
and that doesn't matter what tournament it is. But yeah, H4H is always the best event. You know, regardless of how things go, no AC, you know, crowded, hot, whatever it's been, right? Spirits are always as high as they could be. Everybody's just so happy to be there, having a great time. It's just electric. You know, I get the least amount of sleep by far during H4H weekend from any other tournament I go throughout the year, and it's worth every second. It's such a fun time, and if anybody's on the fence about going, do it. It's worth it. It's a good time.
And
Ah,
that's
thank you,
such a
Lucas.
credit. Seriously, that's such a credit to you, Scott, and to the HeroClix community. Like hearing testaments like this, because Lucas, you're not the only one who I've heard say things about the HeroClix for Huntington's experience. So it's truly everyone comes together, and yeah, there's that fun rivalry that goes on, but ultimately everyone's there for the same purpose, for the same cause, and wanting to make a difference. And you can see it through the enthusiasm and the gameplay as well. So it's wonderful.
Yeah. All right, Lucas. Well, I can't wait to see you down there May 14th through the 18th.
Yes,
Have a great
sir.
rest of your day, my brother. And man, I can't wait to see this sculpt in person.
Me either.
Insane.
Me either. Me
It's
either.
fantastic. All right, thank you so much, Lucas.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
All
Bye.
right, bye. So now that we've had our special guest, where would you like to go next?
Yeah, I think now we're going to jump into kind of the auction and the incredible amount of items that we have that people can bid on, how we're going to approach it this year.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think the people out there have been waiting long enough. I think this is where we're going to start to creep into showing off some of the future convention LEs and promo figures that WizKids has planned for the rest of 2025, which are able to be bid on and won by some of our HeroClix community
Yeah.
who are taking part in the auction. Before we jump in there, I did want to say
Oh.
that, I mentioned how the Scott Porter versus the World tournament is our second largest earner for the entire weekend. A big reason for that is that the entry fee, 100% of it goes to HDSA. 100% of the mulligans go to HDSA. 100% of the charity probabilities go directly to HDSA. Everything that is a part of Scott Porter versus the World is so generously donated by WizKids, who we could not do this event without. And, I just wanted to let everybody out there know. And you can find all this information if you're interested to see how much of what you are spending at the HeroClix for Huntington's event weekend is going to HDSA, you can see that on our website, HeroClixForHuntingtons.com. So I just wanted to make sure everybody knew. But yeah, now I think we jump into the big ticket now, the auction, which is our largest moneymaker for the Huntington's Disease Society of America throughout the entire weekend. We are going to be again on the Auxit app this year in the HeroClix Cafe. If you do not have Auxit, make sure you download it before the event weekend begins. Make sure you ask to be admitted into the HeroClix Cafe, which is our auction space. And I wanted to say, the last couple of years, we broke Auxit. We as a community, we as the HeroClix for Huntington's team, we as WizKids with everything that they donate, and everybody out there in the community who give awesome, individual, unique, incredible items to our auction, we as a team broke Auxit the last couple of years. We have identified exactly what was happening. And in the air of transparency, just want to very quickly in layman's terms tell you this. We had too many items at the close of the auction to actually go into what is very unique about Auxit. Auxit offers something called an overtime bidding war, which the first couple of years that we did H for H worked like a charm. Become a HeroClix, which Lucas just showed us his version of it from last year, we saw go on for an extra 17 minutes past the auction closing in the first year of our event.
Yeah.
We watched like a tennis match, bids go back and forth until the King of the North won the very first year. And the last 2 years we haven't been able to reach that phase because we have so many items in the auction. Auxit has to run security checks and has to check every single item and has to re-up bids that are coming in once we get into the overtime phase. If there are too many items, trying to recheck to see if they're going any further, if there's a new bid, if we're extending the time on them, it hits a basically end of race scenario and just closes everything out all at once. If it does not have the microseconds it needs every 60 seconds to run 300 items, which it didn't last year, it's going to close the auction. Now, I know a lot of people told us, hey, you guys left a lot of money on the table. I also had some people tell me, hey, I'm kind of glad it ended that way because you saved me X amount of dollars. I'm not so sure I should have been spending that much. So it was a double-edged sword. We made, I want to lead with this though. We made more money in last year's auction than we ever have before. And that is because everybody out there, the generosity in the community and everything that they bid on for our auction. This year, we're coming at it a different way. We are still going to start the auction 3 days prior to our event happening, the auction actually happening. And what is so cool about it is we're going to have a start time, but then we're going to stagger the end. So Friday night, some items are going to close out. So if you're bidding, make sure that you check the end time and end date for the item that you are bidding on. What this allows is twofold. It allows people who are bidding on more than one item to be able to focus on different items throughout the weekend that they really want to win. That helps them budget for all the spending. That helps them figure out what items they really want to chase. And then it also helps the app actually get to a point where it can give us the true overtime that everybody wants to see for the big ticket items that are be closing out on Saturday night. Now, what are some of those big ticket items? Well, design a map, become a HeroClix, what we just talked about with Lucas. We have the 2025 map that we are going to be debuting this year at HeroClix for Huntington's that I designed. And you know what? We're going to have a main version of it, and then we're going to have a variant version of it. And you know what? I think we should probably go ahead and show everybody what that map is. I haven't announced it officially yet.
Sure.
But here you go.
Which one do you want? Do you want the first one or the second one?
Let's do the main one. Yeah,
let's do the main one.
Do the,
okay.
Let's not do the.
There we go. So here's the first one.
Version yet. This is a map I designed for this year's event. It's called Rivals Respawn. It's a little nod to another project I may be a part of. This takes place, this particular map, in Hell's Heaven, which is a a scientific experimentation lab for Hydra. And you can see in the middle there, they are trying to figure something out. Is it a super soldier tank? Is it a symbiote tank? Is Hydra trying to develop? What are they trying to develop in this little lab here to make themselves even more dangerous than they already are? In the top of the map and in the bottom of the map, you see two rooms. They look like break rooms. You know, the one on the north side looks like, you know, where the scientists kind of reside, and the one in
Yeah.
the south part looks like where the leadership resides. A huge table, awesome Hydra logo on it. You've got some statues in the background. You've got curtains all around the place. On the outside of the middle console, you've got lava on either side of the map. Now, the reason I'm pointing out the lava and the reason I'm pointing out these two rooms on the north and south side of the map is those rooms are respawn rooms. And yes, the map does have special rules this year. Um, the map is built to kind of have the effect of when you're in a game and you know, a character takes too much damage or a
Mm-hmm.
character ends up falling off a map, you
Mm-hmm.
have to go back to a respawn room. This particular map has two sets of rules. One is at the end of your turn, when a friendly figure is in lava, at the end of your turn, you must deal that character one unavoidable damage and place them in a respawn room. Any immunity that would be granted this turn is no longer granted. So no running out, falling into lava, taking a click of damage, ending up in another respawn room, and not being able to be touched because of first turn immunity. There are other activation things that would grant you immunity that it strips you of. It is lava. It strips you of everything. Okay? If you end up in the lava, if you are
Is
placed
lava.
or move there yourself,
Yeah.
you are stripped. The other rule is if a character takes, or a figure takes 3 damage on any given turn, they immediately have to be repopulated into a respawn room. The thing I like about this is I'm in a game called Marvel Rivals. I'm kind of trying to emulate. I've voiced the character Star-Lord in it. I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to kind of emulate with this map what happens in those type of games and what happens when you have a collision between this video
Right.
game hero shooter style and the game of HeroClix. I think it makes for a lot of very interesting interactions. I think it makes for a lot of really interesting strategy. I'm sure some people are going to crack it on this map, and it's going to be very dangerous in certain players' hands. That being said, it's also just very, very fun.
Mm-hmm.
In my estimation as a HeroClix player. So those are the special map rules. This is the map design. You see 2 high balconies on either side of the map. Those are at elevation 3. The corners of the map are down depressed into elevation 1. And then the respawn rooms and the main area where the symbiote tank or the super soldier tank is level 2. So there is a very solid battle space right in the middle. There are places you can kind of try and snipe from up on the edges, but you got to be careful you don't get knocked
Mm-hmm.
off of those. You'll end up in the lava. So I hope people out there really, really enjoy. And for the people that are out there that are players of this game that I voiced Star-Lord in, I hope you feel the essence kind of this particular
I
map.
hear your
Now,
voice so often, by the way, because of that game. My 2 kids play it, and there are times I'm like, "Hi, Scott."
Oh yeah.
It's
Yep. I am
hysterical.
there. I'm omnipresent. And it's so
Uh-huh.
fun
Yeah.
to just see people scatter when they hear
Mm-hmm.
a particular phrase that is uttered. And that particular phrase actually is a part of the variant map. So let's take a look at it.
Ooh, definitely. Here we go.
Yeah. This is Rivals Respawn Legendary. This is our variant map. Now, this variant will only be able to be won by placing, you know, in top 8s or top 16s within some of the tournaments throughout our HeroClix for Huntington's event weekend. Again, go look at all the prizing at HeroClixForHuntingtons.com. However, we do have a small handful of these variant maps that are also going to be available in the auction. If you would like them signed by me, you can have them signed by me. So we're going to put them into the auction as signed maps. If you would rather not have my signature mar this map, then you can just send me an email at scottporterheroclix@gmail.com and let me know that you don't want me to sign it. If you have it, if you win something that's signed by me in the auction, as long as you send me an email at scottporterheroclix@gmail.com with what you would like me to personalize, I can do that. I always do that on Sunday before I leave.
Mm-hmm.
So all those signed items that you see in the auction are able to be personalized. You just have to email me that night with how you would like it after you win the item, how you would like it personalized. But this map, what is different is everything is destructible in game, and so we have really, really busted up this map. Stevie Z, our artist for this map, and the artist for all of our maps every year, for as far as I go, the maps that I design with HeroClix for Huntingtons, did an incredible job. You can see that super soldier or symbiote tank, we're not sure what they were trying to make in the middle there, is busted. The ooze is all over the ground, and next to it, spray painted on the ground, is Jack Darrell. Yeah,
And Zoom was cruel and
Star-Lord
it just
has,
gated you.
yep. Uh, you know, look, here's the thing, man. Star-Lord's been here, or maybe, he's been here, but the legendary spray painted on the ground. You can see that big Hydra leadership table on the south side of the map is cracked. There's a Star-Lord insignia spray painted over the top of it. Everything is on fire. All the walls are damaged. Of course, all the terrain stays the same. It's just the art that changes a little bit. And the map rules, of course, stay the same as well. The difference is this map design, just the art, as well as the border, will be gold on this one. The other map that we had will be a purple border.
Cool.
Again, these will be available in the auction on Saturday night to look at, as well as some other really cool items I think we're going to go ahead and jump into next.
Okay.
So I hope everybody out there enjoys the map, but we're gonna move forward here. Part of to steal a phrase from the WizKids HeroClix design team that I heard from John Schreiner, surprise and delight of our
Know it
weekend.
well.
You have really, really cool stuff that you cannot get anywhere else. HeroClix for Huntington's tumblers by GamerMats. HeroClix for Huntington's mugs by GamerMats. I know a lot of people see me in my unboxing series drinking out of that HeroClix for Huntington's mug. It's one of my favorite all-time coffee mugs. It's the perfect size. It can hold a 16-ounce cup of coffee. It's awesome. And the print on the outside of it is so cool. We have our HeroClix for Huntington's bystanders this year and years past. So if you can't attend the event, this is a way for a lot of people to get their hands on the, newly designed bystander token, which is the Phoenix, or last year's Scott and Lucas and PJ, or the prior year Spirit of the Game, or Scott Porter. We have had, this will be our 5th bystander token now this year, and in limited quantities they will be a part of the auction. We have Jeremiah Peterson, who makes these incredible dice trays. We have Craftworks, who makes these incredible HeroClix figure cases. They are both offering part of as part of the auction, unique, bespoke versions of what they do, which is so very, very cool. We have my Smash and Destroy loot that you just saw me do the unboxing for this entire week. That will be a part of the auction. Of course, sign any figures that you would like me to sign. We have some really cool not collectors, but limited edition characters and promos that maybe not everybody has their hands on. So go to the site, look at all of the stuff that we have in the auction. We have a ton of chase boosters. We have a ton of factory sets. But surprise and delight time. We have some unreleased items as a part of our auction that I wanted to talk about before we move on. So we have a Lantern Legacy factory set. Just like you could win in the Scott Porter vs. the World sealed tournament, we have one of those here in our auction. We have an X-Men 97 factory set. The release dates aren't even talked about yet. No. But just like the Lantern Legacy factory set, the aim by WizKids and HeroClix for Huntington's is to have that ship during the pre-release window of X-Men 97, with the possibility of it being shipped, the week of actual set release. That being said, again, something you are getting ahead of almost every single other soul in the land of HeroClix is so cool. We also, I've mentioned these retail chase boosters a couple of times, right? Smash and Destroy is going to have its own. But the past 2 sets, people were kind of caught off guard with everything that was so cool that was inside of these chase boosters, including the bystander tokens, which are very hard to get. WizKids has given us a roll each of the bystander tokens contained within the retail chase boosters for both Spider-Verse and Collector's Trove. We're going to break those out and be auctioning those off in the auction as well. So if you haven't been able to complete your set, this is a great place to look to try and figure out, I can actually, get all these bystander tokens that are so hard to get a hold of. You can get those here in our auction. That being said, we also have something cool that we get to do every year. We have promo figures. The next 5 promo figures, we have 2 sets of the next 5 promo figures that are going to be released by WizKids, some of which have a release date and some of which do not yet. And we have 2 auction prizes that are the next 5 DC promos as well. So what figures are contained within there? Well, this is everybody's favorite part of our live stream. We're going to show you some of the upcoming convention exclusive and promo figures that we have on the way for DC and for Marvel that you can bid to win in our auction. Where do we want to go first? V, I'm going to just kind of follow your lead here.
Let's see. Well, I'm thinking, why don't we start off with our DC bundles? Or not our bundles, but our group, our DC group, because I know we have images for all of them. So I think let's start off with them, and then we can go from there. So from the group, we have Kanjaro, DC's Hal Jordan, Space Ghost and Blip, Lady of the Forest, and Aquaman Atlantean Ally. Who do we want to show off here first? Like, who's speaking to you?
Well, which 3 are available at Worlds this year? I think
let's see
about that.
We have Kanjaro for Nationals, DC's Hal Jordan, as well as Space Ghost and Blip. Now, I mean, I'm kind of a fan of Space Ghost just in general, so we could always start with Space Ghost.
With Space
Ghost. Yeah. Okay, here we go. So here's
Ghost.
Space Ghost, and let me get that logo out of the way.
Yeah, you can see Space Ghost completely invisible here. Got that true transparency. He's got his Inviso power as his trait, personal force field. And the thing is with him, this personal force field trait is nuts. The first time each turn Space Ghost is damaged by an attack, reduce the damage taken to 1. He's got power bands. He is a wild card, comes in at split dial. He's got 70 points or 40 points, celebrity, cosmic, detective, and police. I will let everybody out there in the spirit of time, because we do want to get to some of your questions. Let everybody pause and take a look at this guy. But the sculpt is incredible. I love that he's invisible, and we'll take a look at Blip next. We'll see kind of why, right? He's got a Viso power here. He's great, but his interaction with Blip is even cooler. So let's take a look at Blip now.
I don't have the thing for Blip itself. I just have Space Ghost. I hate to say it. So, yeah, sorry about that. I do have Hal Jordan or Kanjaro, if you want to jump over on them.
I do have Blip.
You do have Blip.
Yes, I do have Blip, so I at least will tell everybody out there.
Okay, cool.
He's 30 points, right? So if you've got the 70-point Space Ghost and you've got the 30-point Blip coming up together, he also has the Inviso power, right? He's got super senses. Opposing characters that can't use improved targeting through hindering terrain cannot draw lines of fire to Blip, period. He's also got pranking the villains. He has perplex. He has when Blip uses it to target an opposing character until your next turn, that character has, when this character misses, destroy any equipment that is equipped to them. So he's really fun. He moves around the map. You can't really see him too often. He's pranking your opponent. He's destroying their equipment. It is so cool. And the way that he plays with Space Ghost at 100 points is really, really fun. Kanjaro, you said we're moving on to next. This guy is insane. And the reason that he's insane is that the maps have shrunk the last couple of years in HeroClix, right? This guy, if you look down on his Gamma Gong trait, there are a number of things that happen. But under number 2 of his Gamma Gong selection of powers, range of 16. Yes, range of 16. After resolutions, give hit characters 2 action tokens, remove all Gong tokens from Kanjaro, and hit characters have immobile until your next turn. Range of 16 is a pretty bonkers number, if what I'm thinking is real here. Now, of course, it involves him gaining these Gong tokens onto his card before he can use something like that, but still very, very cool. He has a special move power called Stolen Zeta Beam. He has a special damage power, Treacherous Tactician. Of course, like I said, I'm not going to read all these powers as much as I want to. I'm like going to unboxing mode right now.
You are.
But I love this sculpt as well. If you look, like, if you do pause this and take a shot and you like zoom in on his eyes are so insanely, like, the bug eyes are so coolly detailed. Absolutely love it. Where are we going next, V?
DC's Hal Jordan.
Oh my God, this guy is a beast.
Yeah.
If you haven't read Deceased, by the way, please do yourself a favor and go read Deceased and Deceased 2. It is such a cool story. It's zombie apocalypse-ish, but it's done through the form of technology, and it's just really, really cool. So you've got Apocalypse, Green Lantern Corps, Justice League, Monster Soldier comes in at 75 or 60 points. Deceased, the first time Hal Jordan would be KO'd, you may instead turn him to click number 9. If you do, this game he has when Hal Jordan would take damage from a game effect, he takes 1 unavoidable damage instead. At the end of your turn, deal Hal Jordan 1 unavoidable damage, protected from Pulse Wave. Look at the power set that he has here. This guy is a monster. He's got running shot, 2 targets. He's got penetrating psychic blast. Such cool stuff. So I absolutely love this piece. And I know people out there will be freaking out. Hal Jordan is a fan favorite, and this sculpt, chef's kiss.
Yeah, that's a really cool one. Although I have another one that's like kind of my favorite out of this grouping.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, okay. This is the D&D player in me, and I always default to Druid, like without fail. So I kind of saw this one and I fell in love. Just saying.
I know where you're going. Lady in the Forest. Now, this one does not have a release date currently, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Lady of the Forest, still no release date, but we're showing you guys something so far ahead of time. Hope the hype is real out there for everybody. If you are not aware of Ivy in this form, Lady of the Forest, you have not read Dark Knights of Steel, which I know I just told you to go read Deceased, but man, I would be hard-pressed if I wouldn't tell you to read this first. Dark Knights of Steel, incredible Game of Thrones-ish style medieval take on the DC universe and the houses therein, right? House Jefferson, Black Lightning. It's the House of Lightning. You've got, the Themyscirans, of course, with this massive navy. They no longer just stay on their island. They are out on the open ocean. And of course, you have the House of El. All of these houses have their own advisors. Harley Quinn is one of the advisors for the House of El, and she and the Lady of the Forest, otherwise known as Ivy, are secretly in love, and they will fight for each other to the death. And you see that here in the flavor text on Lady of the Forest. I would bury an army for you. And if you read, combat reflexes, super senses, free. Remove any plant terrain marker within range. If you do, heal Lady of the Forest or a friendly character named Harley Quinn. 1 click. The rest of what she does is insane. Looks like a short dial, but she does so much in 6 clicks. The forest comes with me. Fungus to rot your brain, thorns to seed your eyes. Yeah, this does sound like it's right up
I love
your
it.
alley there, B.
It totally is.
Is there a piece you want more than this year?
Probably not. No, to be perfectly fair. I mean, the people in the D&D community know that I've basically got this very dark druid in my repertoire of characters, and I'm like, she's perfect. Give me.
Absolutely love it. She has very small movement, but the things that she does with her plant markers, all that she places all over the map, allow her to attack from everywhere. The cool thing is in the story, she swallows an entire army with the forest under her command. This piece does the exact same thing in the game of HeroClix. It is so cool. So cool.
Okay, very cool. So the next one up is another one that we don't have the release date yet, but we have ready to debut Aquaman Atlantean Ally.
Yes, Aquaman, the Atlantean Ally. I love the use of dolphins in this. I love the use of this. I love the sea creature telepathy he's doing. Yeah. He's got this. Woo, 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 woo. That's what I hear when I look at this character.
Fair.
Like the old Justice League cartoon. Is
yeah.
in there. He's huge on water terrain, and this I definitely want to say. I did a map last year that is still tournament legal in the game of HeroClix. It's called the Ice Lake map. It was a nod to the Walking Dead video game that was a part of a while ago, and the fate of my character Luke therein that game. And this Aquaman character is going to play in a very cool way on a map like that. Water terrain has so many cool little uses now. It is niche, yes, but the more and more you can expand it, the more and more you can, really utilize that to your benefit, these water terrain markers. And this guy is great for that. Of course, there's always water free, generate up to 2 water terrain markers. One of them may generate it into Aquaman Square. He's got a dolphin buddy, which who doesn't love dolphin buddies?
Yeah.
At the beginning of your turn, Aquaman may generate a dolphin bystander of a max of 1. He's got King of the Seas, and this dolphin will follow him around as he moves around the map. They get free move, and they have toughness, so you can use the dolphin as a shield or as a buddy to, follow up and attack with you. He also, the buddy also has enhancements. So there's a lot of different things that this guy can do with his little dolphin buddy. So I absolutely love this version of Aquaman. We've been getting more like powerhouse Aquaman lately. This is more of a nod to like the past,
Hmm.
He doesn't have Storm on his dial, but having the dolphin buddy is very, very cool. And
Yeah.
I love how the little dolphin is like,
Like, hello.
it reminds me of like, like
That's
this
a water puppy.
playful dolphin just comes up and
Yeah.
is like, what do
Yep.
you need? What do you need? It's just so cute. So
I'm
absolutely
loving
love
that
it.
I'm getting
Now,
dolphin noises from you this time.
all of these, I know, well, I can't help myself. All of these pieces come together in one bundle that you can bid on in our auction. Again, WizKids and HeroClix for Huntingtons are hoping that this entire pack of 5 will be shipped the week before Worlds happens in September. That being said, with the current client in the world, do want to put a disclaimer out there that,
Yeah.
some of these pieces that do not have release dates yet, their shipping could be delayed until it's closer to their actual release date. So just wanted to put that out there. That being said, the pieces that are a part of Worlds, our goal is to make sure that at least they get out to you the week before Worlds so that you're getting them before or just as everybody else who is going to WizKids World Championships this year. We also have 2 packs of 5 of the next Marvel release figures. Now, this will go a little bit quicker because I want to make sure that I let everybody out there know we don't have images for all of these yet. There are a couple of pieces that are a part of this that we still don't actually have the art for yet. Do you want to tell us which those are, V?
Absolutely. So we're still waiting on the Deity Thor, Phoenix Force Thor, and Phoenix Force. So those 3 are still in progress getting pulled together.
Man. Woo! Yeah, we have a question later in this that Phoenix Force is a big answer for me for. So the fact that we're getting Phoenix Force Thor is so cool. And Deity Thor and Phoenix Force, like these are 3 pieces I know are going to be in very high demand.
Yeah.
Like I said, we don't have the images for those today. But trust me when I say they sound like they are going to be incredible, and I will be bidding on those particular pieces. However, we do have the other Marvel pieces that we're going to be sending out. And the cool thing is, I know I said the next 5 releases, right? But when we were looking at DC, there were 6 names that were floating around. One of them was, Space Ghost and Blip. I'm assuming Phoenix Force and Phoenix Force Thor or Deity Thor or Thor, like one of those, like 2 of these are going to play nice somewhere because
somehow
we have 6 names for Marvel as well. So it's pretty cool.
Okay.
Who do you want to take a look at? You know what? Let's take a look at Forbush, man.
I was going to say Forbush. Let's look at Forbush.
Here
we go.
Another fan favorite that people are always asking for, and I never know if they're joking or not, but I'll be like, what figures do you want to see in this set? Or what figures are you missing? And Forbush Man comes up all the time. If you don't know who Forbush Man is, he Marvel Comics took a stab at doing like a Mad Magazine style lampooning of all of superhero stuff. And Forbush Man ended up kind of being the guy on the cover, the guy that was a part of this particular magazine. Not Brand Eck is like the name of the magazine for a little bit, and Forbush Man is the face of all of it. He has a kind of small dial here, but hold on, not so fast. Let's see. Oh, and I loved Next Wave also. He pops up in, and Next Wave happens to be one of my all-time favorite stories to come out of Marvel. Stuart Eminem did a lot of the art on it, and it's just a very unique book in the landscape of Marvel. It is kind of satirical, and of course he fit right in on it. He has Hate, Next Wave, and Celebrity Keywords comes in at 30 points. Not Brand Eck is a trait. Characters within 6 squares modify their attack and damage by -1 if they aren't a Marvel character. So anybody playing DC stuff or any of the stuff that, Iconics that's maybe,
Mm-hmm.
more the indie realm, is going to get this negative effect from him. Incredible, unexplainable luck. Probability control. When Forbush Man uses it to re-roll an attack, he may choose to only re-roll one of the dice, which is, it's massive.
Mm-hmm.
When you're doing probability control and you see somebody roll a 7, and you see a 1, it's a 6 and a 1. Just have them re-roll that 6. Keep that 1 out there. You got a 1 in
Mm-hmm.
6 chance of a
Mm-hmm.
critical miss.
Mm-hmm.
If you have them rolled both dice, it's the odds are a little bit less. So he's a wild card. Absolutely love this. So this will be a part of that 5-figure package. And last but not least, we have one of my all-time favorite Alpha Flight members, Puck. Puck is so fun, and I absolutely love this sculpt, man. The way he's leaving that like dust cloud behind him as he's doing this
Mm-hmm.
backflip, he is an acrobat to the ultimate extreme. He bounces all over the place. He is so hard to get a handle on. I think this sculpt is so kinetic. For a guy that a lot of times you just see standing there with his arms crossed.
Yeah.
This was such a cool way to approach him. Alpha Flight, X Force, Brute, Martial Artist, Mystical, and Past. Keywords set number, not set number, sorry, comes in at 50 points. And I'll let you guys take a look at both his trait, I vowed I would live an interesting life, and his special movement power, a body like compressed rubber. Yeah, he really is like a hockey
Yeah.
puck. You can't
Yeah.
hurt the guy. It's like it's very difficult to damage this guy. So let you all take a look at that here. That Immortal Hulk run I've talked about a lot this week in the Smash and Destroy unboxing. So it's pretty cool that he is a part of these convention exclusives that are coming up, or these promo figures. I always interchange those. I should be saying promo figure. So let me
Yep.
be clear. But I love that he is a part of this because he did become a part of Alpha Flight, that became a part of Gamma Flight, that took part in the Immortal Hulk run. So very, very cool to have something that kind of ties in to what I just unboxed this
Yeah.
week. So there you have
Definitely.
it. Those are the promo figure exclusive packages that we are putting out and hoping to have in the hands of the players who win them, just a little bit ahead of when the rest of the world would. Now, something that I know we are going to have in the hands of players as a part of our auction way before anybody else is the last set of items I think we're going to take a look at today.
Yeah.
And that is a couple of unspoken about, unreleased, not to be released until I believe both of these release in July. Is that right?
Well, we're looking at I'm going to say early summer for these two, based upon what I'm
Early
seeing right now.
summer.
So early
All
summer
right.
feels nice and safe to say right now.
Yeah, early summer. So last year, people might remember that we had 4 of the first appearance of Wolverine iconic sets 2 months ahead of their
Yeah.
actual release. And we're kind of doing the same thing here with one property from Marvel and one property from DC. We'll have 2 of each of these. I think let's start with some of the figures have been seen for this one already. The DC HeroClix Iconics Batcave Volume 1 set.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah.
So what would you want to do first? Do you want to show off the ones where we
Yeah, let's
have
show off the
the whole
figures first,
figures?
and then
Okay.
we'll look at the cards here in a second.
Okay, cool.
just
So
that people
so
can
let's
see.
do that. So I'm going to give you Kryptonite Ring to start off with. How's that sound?
Yes. Yes.
Awesome. There we go.
Definitely a big ticket item in Batman's Batcave. This man keeps a dossier on how to defeat every hero, as well as every villain in the DC universe. And the Kryptonite Ring is a big one for him to have to deal with Superman. Does he ever turn evil? Which he has once or twice in the history of
Yeah.
DC Comics. You also have the giant Penny.
Which lives up to its name.
Mhm. And you also have what I think is so cool. I love this sculpt so much. The bat suit.
Yeah.
Up. It's the the cape and cowl sitting up on this little mannequin inside this case here, ready to be put on whenever Batman needs it. But he always has these older suits as well. That have done their thing.
Yeah.
But then also a part of this iconic set, of course, what would the Batcave be without Alfred?
I love this one. And we get to do some little sneaky peeky here.
Yes, nobody has seen this stuff yet.
Mm-mm.
So here are some of the cards for the figures that are coming as a part of the Batcave Volume 1 Iconic set arriving in early summer that you can have in your hands at our event, actually. You can walk out with this if you attend the event. If not, it'll be mailed to you on Monday. You'll get it just a couple days after the auction ends. Batman Family, Gotham City, and Soldier. I love how these cards have their own unique flavor. The color, the way that the dial is presented, looking like it's a part of the Bat computer. So cool. He has a special attack power tidying up the Batcave. He's got a special damage power, much more than a butler, which if anybody has watched the Pennyworth show or done some reading of Pennyworth's early days, you know that there is much more to him than just being a butler. Fan favorite character for a very good reason. I love that this guy has telekinesis. Yeah. Alfred Pennyworth has telekinesis. This is so awesome. Now, Batman, of course, also in the Batcave, also has to use his Bat computer. And this sculpt is so cool, too. Take a peek here.
Oh, do you want Batman or the Bat computer? I can switch.
I could do Batman. I could do Batman real quick. But I won't spoil the Bat computer. Here we go. Batman. This Batman I love. He's got his cowl down. He's very contemplative. He's got Batman Family, Gotham City, Justice League, Detective, Martial Artist, Scientist keywords. 60 points for 7 clicks. He's got Grapple Gun. Never leave the cave without it. So even on his card, he's dealing with things that are part of his tool belt, are part of the Batcave. Sometimes you need to fight in the open. He's got stop clicks and prep time, a special damage power, which gives him outwit. And when Batman uses it after resolutions, choose a standard attack or standard damage power of the target's card. Batman can use that power until your next turn. So he's outwitting and stealing what you're doing. He's studying you and using it back at you. Very, very cool. I like this take on Batman. And now we take a look at
Bat computer.
Probably my favorite piece in here is the Bat computer.
Yeah, this is a fun one.
Blocking effect terrain, okay, in the Batcave. And so it's not only, it's not a figure, it's terrain, but it has this dial, it's 5 points. And then you could look during first construction. If you paid to add this terrain marker to your force, you may add another Batcave terrain marker to your force without paying its cost. When Bat Computer starts the game, choose a friendly character with the Batman Family keyword. That character can use the powers displayed on the Bat Computer's dial and positively modifies their combat values by the values displayed on the Bat Computer's dial. At the end of your turn, you may click the Bat Computer's dial and once in the direction of each increasing click numbers. So you can go either way. You can keep on going. You can, choose to get outwit, choose to get, precision strike. There are so many things on this dial. Plus you're getting some bonuses to your dial itself. So cool. Absolutely love this. And this Iconics is sure to be a massive hit. If you look at it, I love the screen. I love all the villains that are popping up there. You've got the Riddler, Joker, Catwoman, Penguin. It's so cool. So we will have 2 of these to auction off early, and we will have them in hand at the event. So cool to actually have them with us. Team Early gets a big win here with this particular set.
Okay. Now, should we move on to the next one?
Yes, the Heralds of Galactus. Boom. Did I spoil it? Sure, I did. Yeah,
of course.
Okay.
What do we want to share first? Because we have some fun things with this particular one.
Oh man, there is so much going on.
You want to start with the figures like we did last time?
Yeah.
Let's start with the figures and build up.
Because some of them we have cards for, some of them we just have sculpts for. And again, we will have 2 of these that we'll be auctioning off as a part of our auction.
Yep.
So I guess we start with Morg.
Terax. You want to do Morg?
That's fine.
We can do Morg. You said Morg. Here we go with Morg.
You've got Morg the Executioner. I mean, these sculpts are primo, top-notch, incredible, just as we've come to expect from the Iconics line. Next, Terax, yeah?
Yeah, let's do Terax.
A little Terax the Tamer.
Look at that.
Boom. And then Frankie Ray herself, Nova.
Yeah.
And geez, this sculpt, so good. Has elements of the old school Nova that we used to have in the game of HeroClix. She has this gold-plated front, but on top of that, she also has this really cool hair flying out the back of her head. It's just incredible.
Definitely. Okay.
Cards next, I suppose.
Yeah, let's see here. You have the option of Fire Lord, Silver Surfer, or Airwalker. Who do you want to
Let's
start
look
with?
at Airwalker first and just
You got
show
it.
everybody. Again, these sculpts are incredible. I cannot wait to get my hands on this guy here. Man, you can see the trait here, Heralds of Galactus. You can see another trait, Galactus's most favored, which I absolutely love. And then the Horn of Gabriel. And of course, the team ability is Cosmic Energy. Has Nova Core, Cosmic, Herald, and Robot keywords, Hypersonic on the first 4 clicks there, and has that little bonus click that's used as a part of the Heralds of Galactus trait. Is that a shared trait? Let's see. Let's go on to Fire Lord here.
Fire Lord, you got it. Here we go. Ba-boom.
And yes, it is. That is a shared trait that you'll see running as a theme throughout all of these heralds. So cool. Mine is not the paltry flame born on Earth, and doesn't quite reach the 14 attack that the old Infinity Challenge Fire Lord got. But I mean, the 12 attack here with mine is the fire, having energy explosion and precision strike. Smoke cloud is free, but only to generate markers in the squares of characters Fire Lord hit this turn, regardless of range, line of fire, or adjacency to other generated markers. Is pretty darn cool. Comes in at 90 points. And again, love the sculpt. You look at like his eyebrows are on fire. Like it's so cool the detail that we're getting nowadays in these sculpts. I cannot even speak to it. And speaking of incredible sculpts, this Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
Holy heck, did they outdo themselves? I love that, like the cosmic energy that's flowing behind him as he's gliding through the universe. You see those silver specks in that translucent purple kind of vortex that's behind him. Oh, this sculpt is just beautiful. Annihilators, which is one of my all-time favorite stories. Defenders, Fantastic Four, Cosmic, and Herald keywords. Has energy absorption as another trait, and not whom you oppose is his special damage power. Again, everybody, go ahead and pause because I want to get to questions and just close this thing out strong. But that is incredible. And that does it for. Oh wait, hold on.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, it doesn't do it.
We got more because.
Oh, we've got one more
Because we
thing.
can.
There's a legacy card. And we had Lucas on the stream earlier, and I believe he had Galactus in the background.
He did.
And that was a little clue because Galactus himself is getting a legacy card. Are you kidding me?
Oh yeah.
This is awesome. So let's get a little more use out of Galactus. Oh my God. And I love the legacy cards got representing both of the heads and both of the dials that you could play Galactus with. Holy heck. We are getting a legacy card for Galactus. You guys might have to zoom in on this to check it out. But, Galactus's arrival trait or the World Shake special defense power, they have been rewritten within these legacy dials. Of course, you have his Herald dial, you have his Elemental Converter, you have the End of a World, you have all these things that he brought. But the powers themselves have been reworked, just like every other piece that gets a legacy card. So, man, oh man, a different way to play Galactus. And it is so, so cool. So, legacy card coming along with this Iconics kit. Again, we have 2 of these Marvel packs of Iconics, and we have 2 of the DC packs of Iconics coming to you way earlier than what we are calling a early summer release. They don't even have the release date yet. So, Team Early gets another big victory here. Boom.
Absolutely. Okay, well, I think that is everything that we have going for our super secret fun reveals, which is honestly my favorite part of the stream every year.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. I know the community does as well.
Yeah.
And that's another thing, like HeroClix for Huntingtons has become ingrained in the fabric of kind of so many parts of what WizKids does. And I am filled with such gratitude that they utilize us in this fashion and that they support us in this way. We can't make all of this money. We can't get all this awesome prizing out to the community without WizKids and their support. It blows me away every single year, the things that you guys are willing and able to do on your side to support this cause. And I could not be more grateful to you or to Howard and Rock, my partner on this, for helping us run this event every year. You know, I mentioned at the very beginning of the podcast, we had a little bit of change this year. We have to find a new venue, and those things cost money. And I know the last couple of years, some players had said, hey, why don't you take this to Atlanta? Why don't you take this to Omaha? Why don't you take this to a bigger city? Why don't you take it to a place that's maybe easier to get to? And we hear you guys every single year. But the fact of the matter is, we deal as a charity event with overhead. The only thing that we try to do is get every cent that you give to go to HDSA. Some things have to be recouped. You know, we have these maps that we print up every year. The maps have an associated cost just to get them printed up. You know, Gamer Mats is so gracious. They do it at a discount for us, but we do still have to pay. So we want to make sure we recoup that so we don't, you know, put ourselves into the red during the event. So that's one of the few things that we have to recoup. But now that we have to go to a new venue, we also have to pay for a new venue. And Divergence was so generous. They were by far the best amount that we could find. In an era of transparency, we're paying $3,000 for the event for 5 days, which is a crazy low
That's
amount.
fantastic.
And something that we feel we can really offset with the very important family wristbands that we have. That being said, you know, if we were to take this to Atlanta, or if we were to take this to another town, the quotes we were getting were $10, $12, $18,000. To put that in perspective as to why that makes it very difficult for us to want to move the event there, it costs about $8,000 to set up a center for excellence. That means, you know, the educating of the doctors, the sourcing of resources for all the families that are going to that particular place to get help in their battle against Huntington's. And $8,000 to set up a center for excellence when we're paying $10,000 for a venue means that we're missing out on a whole center of excellence. If we can recoup something that's half of that, we have such a better shot of accomplishing our goals for the event. So that's once again why we are in Huntsville. Howard has done a Herculean effort in finding a new place for us to go. And there's been generosity on all fronts and making it so that we can keep the most money as possible flowing directly to the HDSA.
All right. Fantastic. So we've gotten to that part where we've had a chance to relay as much information as we possibly can about the event, do some fantastic, awesome reveals, which are unique to this particular stream itself. So it's literally like, y'all saw it first, better take note. But we also did, because this is pre-recorded and this is something different than what we've normally done in the past, we did collect some questions from the community. Thank you for those who replied to our posts on WizKids social media. So what do you say we jump into some of the questions that I have here in front of me so we can get those responses going to help flesh out the information that people are seeking from you?
Yeah, okay. Let's answer a couple of questions. This is when I get nervous.
And I'm going to start with the one I'm like, I hope I'm saying this right. So the first one is from Eel No Side. I hope I got that one right. Do you have a favorite chase figure or a favorite chase theme?
So I think I mentioned earlier Phoenix Force. Back in the Avengers vs. X-Men run, they had the Phoenix Force X-Men. You know, Colossus, Magic, Cyclops. That was such a cool, I mean, the sculpts were incredible. The dials were awesome. Namor. So that was one that is very near and dear to my heart. A couple of the other ones that I really loved, but were tough for me to see, was Dark Knights of Steel being mostly chase figures. That's why I love the fact that Ivy is coming out and, you know, she's going to be a part of something that you can win for this or get in an upcoming event as Lady of the Forest, because it's a piece of the Dark Knights of Steel that didn't have to come in a chase form. But I think one of my all-time favorites might be Spider-Man, Venom, Absolute Carnage. And the reason is because WizKids did something that they've never been able to do before. They kind of made up some Spider-Verse variants of Spider-Man that haven't been seen in comics, and they had kind of the free ability to kind of create a Spider Viking or Miles West, you know, instead of Wild West. It was like some really clever thing. Gwen of Arc instead of Joan of Arc. Really, really cool stuff that WizKids was able to do. And seeing that creativity, especially running an event like HeroClix for Huntington's, where we're getting the player base to insert really cool ideas into the game, it was cool to be able to see the creatives over at WizKids be able to flex their muscles a little bit in that direction as well. So I'd say those are my answers there.
Okay, fantastic. Now we have a couple that came in from Anthony Barnstable. Actually more than a couple. Anthony, loved all the questions. However, you're getting two.
Okay.
So these are the ones I thought would be kind of fun to ask you. The first
Okay.
one is, especially since you're just talking about the new location, will you play some VR games while you are there? Because I think people want to know, are you going to be completely playing, or are you going to take advantage of the fact there's this new element going on?
So I want to mix it up with the community as much as possible. I think my time for VR games is going to be quite limited. You know, battle royals happen all weekend long, and I try to sit at as many tables and play with as many members of the community as I can. The battle royal prizing is also really, really cool, and I end up donating my prizing to the table almost every single time. It's headed up by the Phoenix Nest Bystander token this year, as well as Zombie Scarlet Witch and Daredevil and Elektra and Jokerfish. So I'll be playing in as many of those as possible. I don't get worn out because I'm not playing in all the tournaments that somebody say like Lucas is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where when I finally get knocked out of that tournament, maybe I need to take a mental, break for a little bit from HeroClix. I don't have that same worry because I don't play in all of the tournaments. So I may not be playing in that many VR things. However, I think it is such a cool break for everybody there. The very important
Yeah.
family package is so, so cool. And I think a lot of people are going to get a kick out of that VR stuff. And on top of that, if you bring your family, we didn't mention this, but one of the new things that we're doing this year is a Learn to Play initiative at HeroClix for
Fun.
Huntingtons. So we're also going to have Learn to Play tables. We're going to have a dedicated envoy over there helping people who have never played the game before learn how to play the game without powers, using starter sets. And we're going to be giving out starter sets as prizes throughout the weekend as well at those tables. So I'll be popping into everything that I can interact with people on. VR might not be for me, but I think it's definitely going to be huge for our community.
Fantastic. Okay, then the second
Yeah.
question I thought would be a good one. Which HeroClix for Huntington's year has been your favorite out of all the ones you have done so far, and why? Keeping in mind you're moving into your 5th year doing this.
Oh man. There was
But I just,
something. Oh, this is tough to
yeah.
answer because the first year was really special, but it was all virtual. And I had to mail out every prize by myself out of my own living room with the help of my
Mm-hmm.
wife. Thank you, Kelsey. You are a saint, and I love you so much. Um, the second year was really cool because it was the first time we were all in person. Um, but last year, Deadpool Weapon X was our sealed. It was weeks ahead of time. Nobody had seen it in the wild yet. 110 players were playing in the tournament. I did not have my best finish. That was year 3, which is a reason I really love year 3. I was in the
Mm-hmm.
top 4, but it didn't matter to me. I didn't care where I finished. It just last year through everything, the adversity of no air conditioning. This year we're gonna have a sign outside: free AC and outside. um, but uh, but I think every year has topped the year prior.
Mm-hmm.
And I think my favorite one is now going to be this year, probably because, every year outdoes the prior in some way, shape, or form. And we're hoping that trend continues this year. So right now, last year.
Okay.
But hopefully after this year's event on the 19th, I look back and go, no, this one was the best yet.
So I'm hearing I
Um,
ask you this question next year when we do this again, yeah?
yes, yes. And I do want to, you know what? Anthony asked like 10,000 questions. But he did say, and I wanted to answer this because we're going to be playing Battle Royals, we're going to be playing sealed events. Spider-Verse is going to come into play. And I didn't get to do a full unboxing for Spider-Verse, but he asked, what pieces are you looking most
Oh, okay.
forward to in sealed Spider-Verse? And I would have to say that Silvermane in a battle royal match where his head is getting knocked off constantly and people are
Yes.
picking it up and carrying it
Yes.
around with 4 players at a table, to me is just, it makes me so giddy, the thought of it all. I
Yeah.
absolutely love the idea of it.
Fair.
That being said, Morlun is going to be a beast. All of the primes are incredible. But if you could pull a stunner and a Dr. Octopus in a sealed match with Spider-Verse, I would be really interested to see how that thing would go down. So those are just some of my answers. Oh, and I think the most annoying piece probably is going to be Slide. I think Slide is maybe one of the best tie-ups I've had laid eyes on in a while, and in a sealed event where you're just trying to, just play your game and have your characters do fun things. He's just
Yeah.
like buddying up next to you and be like, "Hey, buddy. Hey, guy. Hey. Oh,
What's
I
up?
only take 1 damage.
Look
Okay,
at
hold
Hey,
on.
hey.
Oh, I'm coming back. Oh, I'm back. Hey, buddy. Oh, I'm back. Oh, what's going on, man? But yeah, I think the only thing about that set is if you pull Outwit, if you pull Precision Strike, you have to run it. So much Super Senses in that set. So,
Yeah.
uh, but I think the piece I want to play with the most, Scarlet Spider. He's my boy. He looks great. And I voiced him in a cartoon once. So,
There
so
you
that's
go.
it. Anyway, there you
Fair.
go, Anthony. I
Okay.
answered a third question for you. Sorry about that.
Awesome. No, it's totally fine. Okay, let's
Yeah.
jump over to Miguel Silva. How many reprints of maps will be on sale at the Rock Cup?
Right. So the tournament legal maps will all be for sale. If you go to HeroClixForHuntingtons.com, you'll find a link to our storefront. That being said, we have three new maps this year coming into play. We have the one from our auction map designer from last year. We have one from Rock Silver Age Championships from last year. And we have my Rivals and Rivals Respawn legendary variant. So right there already, there's 4 maps. The maps from last year are in limited quantities, but will be available to purchase as well. And if you look in the auction, we seem to always have a really cool collection of rarer maps up for auction as well. Howard does a great job of finding those pieces for us. So the answer is, unfortunately, I can't give you an exact number, but go to the website, take a look, and you'll see all of these maps. And keep an eye on channels like Lucas and a couple other people that designed the maps from last year to see what maps they designed and what we're going to see. I know last year Brock's Bunker became a huge hit. I did the Ice Lake map, which a lot of people have fun with. So very similar to the last couple of years. A number of new maps coming in, as well as maps from last year that are still tournament legal, and we'll have them in certain quantities for purchase.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. All right. We're going to jump over to McConnell Lamar. Again, a couple questions. I'll start off with the one that I think is a fantastic one. Other than the auctions, are there any ways for people that can't make it to HeroClix for Huntingtons to participate?
Unfortunately, this year, no. Like I said earlier, we make sure that we get our judges because they give us so much time for free, which is the most valuable thing that you have on this earth. I mean, your time you can never get it back, right?
Yeah.
If you lose a piece in HeroClix, you can always get it back. But the time that you spend, how you choose to spend it, and when you choose to do it volunteering, is huge. And so we want to make sure that we support our judges. The last couple of years, we've had 4 online judges to run, 14 hours worth of online battle royals a day. And unfortunately, the participation just wasn't high enough. I think there's been a move away from online. I think there was a fatigue there, and rightfully so, after we were doing everything online for a couple of years there, and we just didn't. We were breaking even and almost losing money. And again, our whole goal for this weekend is to raise as much as we can for HDSA. So anything that unfortunately could be a drain on what we can donate to them, we just had to make some tough decisions. So this year the auction is the only way. We are still looking at the possibility of doing an off weekend tournament at some point, but again, we would have to prize that out. And WizKids is so generous. They are giving us so much for this 5-day long event, that to do something like that, unless it's with existing product or maybe leftover prizing that we don't utilize over this weekend, it makes it very difficult to do anything else outside. So I hear a lot of people saying, why don't you do another event? Another event would have to be supported, and we would have to lean on WizKids even harder, and that's not something I feel comfortable at this point doing. So we're always looking at options. This year, the auction is the only way, though, for people who can attend the event to take part.
Okay. Very fair. And the
Yeah.
last question from McConnell, as for both of us, will you be at the HeroClix World Championships in Memphis this year?
Uh, I unfortunately probably will not be. I will be in Toronto filming season 4 of Ginny and Georgia. Season 3 premieres on June 5th, and then we got to get right back to work to make sure that we get the new season in people's Netflix accounts at a more timely basis this time around. We've made people wait for like a year and a half plus every single season. We're hoping to shrink that a little bit. So I'll be in Toronto. And usually when I'm in Toronto, if I get a full weekend off, there's only one place I want to go, and that's home to see my wife and my kids. because when I'm up there, they're not always with me. I was lucky last year to film in the summer. They came with me for the entirety of the summer.
Aw.
This year, it's going to be in the fall. My son's going to be going into 4th grade, which is a very difficult transition year for a lot of kids. So we want to make sure that we support him and make the decisions that are right for him. So if I'm off that weekend, I'm probably going to head home. As much as I would love to see y'all again in September, it's probably not in the cards for me this year. What about you, V?
Kind of the same answer, because I do have children and they're moving into big years for each of them grade wise, and I want to make sure I'm around for that one. So going to be staying home for that one. But I mean, again, it's all about family, isn't it?
Yep, family is everything.
Yeah, very much so. Okay, that is the last of our questions then. I can't believe that we've been talking for almost an hour, 2 hours exactly now at this point.
Oh my gosh. I said I was going to try and be quicker this year,
No.
but every year we have so much
We
more
have so
to
much
share.
more. Yeah,
So,
exactly.
Yeah.
So
I hope everybody out there listening had a great time, as good of a time as I did. I had a blast today. V, I have to say thank you so much
of
for
course.
contributing your time every single year to this event. Every single year we have more and more to talk about, and we
We
put more
do.
on your plate to help us push through. And I cannot let you know how much I appreciate you.
Of course. It's a fantastic cause, and honestly, the enthusiasm behind it from everyone is contagious. So I'm more than happy to sit in this chair with you every single year and get the information out there ahead of time so everyone can know what they can expect and get excited and check out that website as well. So we're going to wrap this up, folks. Thank you for hanging out with us for the last 2 hours officially. Now, exactly. Holy moly. So again, check out that website. We're going to have more information for you in the description down below. So make sure to check out those links and clickety, clickety, clickety like you're supposed to. And also feel free to comment if you'd like to as well. In the meantime, looking forward to hearing how everything went. And I'm sure we're going to be doing this again next year and having even more to share with everyone. So until then, everyone, take care, and we'll catch you at another stream at another time. Bye.
Bye.